Hello, future engineers, and welcome to OnShape Practice 4, Part 1, Super Mario Bros. 2. Now, we are getting into some more challenging problems, so these videos are going to be more and more helpful, but also please make sure that you are reaching out if you have any questions. So, for this one, we are going to start by drawing this bottom shape over here, but only half of it. And I'll show you why, because we're going to be using our mirroring options. So what I want to do is I want to basically draw a shape that kind of looks like this. This kind of, let me see if I can, no, it'll be fine. We'll get to it. But I'm just going to start by drawing a line that is 64 and then start placing my circles and my points throughout here to create this shape. So we're going to be referencing back to this all the time. So let's go into our OnShape document. And this is going to be in practice 4. So let's create that new document. It is Super Mario Brothers 2. Alright, so I'm going to start by sketching on our top view over here, and I'm going to view normal to plane. Then I'm going to draw a line. This is going to be the center line all the way through it. And, let me undo that. Now, what I should also point out is that this drawing that we're doing is metric. This is metric. So I am going to change my OnShape settings. So our units, we want to change our length from inches to millimeters. Just simple as that. So now I'm going to dimension this line from there to there. This is 64. Whew. I don't think that it quite got that the units were changed. Yeah, there we go. So it didn't quite change those, so we'll set that back at 64. Cool. All right. So now the next feature that I'm going to actually draw is the circle and the arch over here. So we have a circle, it is a diameter or a radius. Our outside is a radius of 15 while the inside circle is a diameter of 15. So let's draw both of those. So inside of our let's view over here, I am going to draw a circle with a center point here and then something that shares the same center point out here. So the first one I'm going to dimension will have a radius of 30, or a diameter of 30 because it has a radius of 15. That's actually our arch. And then this one will be a diameter of 15. So we have both of those. Now we can also dimension our center point to our origin, but we want to make sure that it is going out like this and it is flat. We don't want an angular dimension, so we want our dimension to be going straight up and down vertical. And then this is half of 34, or 64, which is 32. There we go. And now we need to find our dimension from there to there, but just our horizontal distance from our origin. So when we look back over here, we can find that our horizontal distance is 38. All right. So we'll set that at 38. All right. Now the next thing that we need to do is a real minor detail, but it is important. We want to make sure that we have this edge right here. This is a flat edge, and then we go tangent. So we want to draw that flat line over here. So in order to do that, we need to find the distance. So we have the radius of this arch is 15, which means from the center to the outside is a unit of 15. So this length right here is 15. Then we can make our tangent point. So let's go into OnShape. And then we are going to draw a line over here from here to here, and then dimension that. So this unit right here is 15. Cool. So now when we draw a line, we'll draw from this end point that we just made to our circle. And once we get those dotted, it's going to say that it is tangent and it just pops it in right away. But I'll show you what it looks like if we didn't do that. So if we weren't going that route, and we still have to do this on the other side, so you should follow along. This line over here, if we go from there to there, that we want to make that 15. But then when we draw a line, if we draw this and we don't have it connect except to the edge, it's not going to be tangent and we get a blue line. So in order to change that, we'll highlight the line and the thing that we want to make tangent to and hit our tangent constraint. Then it will snap into place. Now we're very close to being done with this first part of the sketch. The one thing that we do have to do is trim out this section over here. Get rid of that. All right. So now that is all done, I can finish my sketch. I'll view that isometric. I'm going to turn off all these points except for my origin. I may need to reference that a couple more times, so I'm going to keep that on. All right, so let's extrude that bottom face that we just made. It's a new solid, and I believe it's 12.5, but let's double check. It is, yes, 12.5 millimeters that we are extruding up. All right, so let's go back in to the shape. We are going to say our depth is 12.5. We'll extrude that, and we're gonna hit our check mark. Cool. Now, the reason that I just drew half of this is because it's so much easier just to mirror everything that we've already done. So let's go about mirroring this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my 3D modeling tools, and I am going to find my mirror command. Ah, there it is. It took me too long to find it. It's right over here. So with mirror, we're going to we're going to add, and then the entities that we want to mirror our part 1. And then our mirror plane, the thing that we want to mirror it along is this face over here. Then we get an identical replica that has just created. We can merge them all together. Merge scope doesn't really quite matter. It's going to throw together because we've already added it to the operation. If we're creating a new body, we could merge them together, but we don't really want to do that. All right, cool. So now we have this part of the shape done, and I now want to draw those towers that appear on both sides. So let's go take a look at those dimensions real quick, and then we can throw those onto here. All right, so we already drew the little base over here, but let's figure out from our edge, or from the bottom edge, we're going up 35 and placing a circle that is a diameter of 12 with a radius 15 arc around it, and then that just comes straight down. So that's pretty simple enough, and let's just go and do that. So I'm gonna start a sketch on this little plane over here, and I'm gonna view that normal. Cool. So now let's grab a center point circle. You can see it lines up with the origin. I knew I kept it for a reason. Perfect. And we're actually going to draw 2 circles. So the first one, it had a radius of 15. So we're going to make that a diameter 30. Because remember, we're dimensioning it right now as it is a circle. But when we actually measure it, it will be a radius once we have trimmed it. So we're going to set that at 30. And then this inside is actually 12, which I was pretty close to. All right, so now the next thing that we need to do is set the height of it. So from here to here, that was a distance of 32. Ooh. Double tap the dimension to make an edit. I want to say it was 32. Let me double check. It was 35. I'm glad I double checked that. So I'll double tap there, make that dimension 35. Cool. So now we're going to take our line command, and we are going to go from this corner down here all the way until it intersects. We'll do that again for the opposite side. So all the way down from the edge, down there. And just for good measure, I am going to draw a line connecting these two at the bottom here. So we have a fully formed shape. There's no open edges. I'll take my trim command and I am going to trim out the bottom part of that arch and I'll click done. Then I can view that isometric and now I am going to extrude that. Cool. So we'll extrude that. We don't want it to be new, we want to add. We'll switch to the opposite direction and then we'll set the distance that we are extruding inwards. So if we look at this, it is a thickness of 12, just 12 over here. That's that dimension over here. It's saying that it's 2 times because we have 2 of those pillars, but I'm going to show you a trick once again. All right, so we'll set that to 12 and we'll hit done. There we go. We are so close to being done here. Now the last thing that we're going to do is a totally new command. When we start a drawing, we get 3 planes that start. We start our top, our front, and our right side plane. Now we can create more planes than just these. So how we do that is actually inside of our 3D modeling commands, we have this command right here, plane. And when we choose that plane, we have different types of planes. We can do a plane point, line angle, 3-point, mid plane. I'm gonna do the offset plane. It's one of my favorite planes. And what you need to do is select a plane to offset from. So I'm gonna offset from this face and I'm gonna move the direction inward this way. And we wanna make it right down the middle. So our right down the middle point would be 32 millimeters. So now I'll hit my check mark over there. And now if I look from the top view, you can see that plane occurs right in the center. Now we can use that as our mirror plane so we can practice that mirroring once again. So I am going to go into my 3D modeling tools, select mirror. I am going to choose this. Let me start that over. 3D modeling, choose my mirror, and I'll choose. Oh, it's having me select the whole part. Well, that maybe if we choose add. Mirror feature. We just want to select the mirror type of mirroring feature. So I am just going to select my extrusion number 2. That's going to be the feature that I want to select. And then our mirror plane, we're going to select that right there. And bada bing, bada boom, we have done it. I'm going to turn off the mirror plane, just like the visibility of anything else that we have done. Well, let's visit our sketch, make sure that we didn't forget anything. Yeah, looks all good. Cool. So now we'll go back into our drawing over here and we're gonna check how we did with our volume and mass. There we go. So we get a volume of 79,317.695 millimeters cubed and then a surface area of 19,743.48 millimeters squared. So that is how you do Super Mario Brothers 2. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, please reach out, but I will talk to you later.